Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Chris,
I'm Marissa.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Diaz.
and we're keeping you in the loop of the Qadar community. This episode is again brought to you by us and our Threadless store. You can visit it at, that's a super long URL, so just go to Threadless, search for the Effects Loop podcast, and it'll come up.
Actually, if you just Google Effects Loop Threadless, we're like the top result.
Yeah, and even if you just Google the Effects Loop podcast, it's like the second or third in Google.
Yeah, guys, we're on the Google.
Yeah,
Bring
we
it
are
on.
We got that SEO.
Woo.
And also, since NAMM is coming up next week, Scott says if he sees you wearing a shirt or just even like some kind of merch in general, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if you're wearing the shower curtain on the floor of the NAMM show,
Wear it as a cape, and we will
Yep.
buy you 2 beers or coffee or a Diet Mountain Dew, as he put in our notes.
also in my bag will be some prizes if I see anybody. We'll
yes.
we'll figure some of that out too. So
Wait, quick question. Can I win? Because I do have 2 shirts.
you win by being my friend, Diaz.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, guys, and don't forget, listen, all proceeds from sales go directly to funding the show. So we actually had people ask us about a Patreon, stuff like that. We're kind of holding off on that until we, our viewers kind of go up a little bit and we are able to do that. So if you want to find a way to help the show out financially, go buy something and you get something cool out of it. Like you get something directly from it and you get to pick what it is. So it's kind of like the really cool, weird version.
We
You can
prefer
buy
to
a
do
throw
this.
pillow with our name on it if you really wanted to.
But yeah, definitely we appreciate all the support, even if it's not financial. So people being active in the group and everything. So thank you guys, by the way, for listening to us idiots talk every week.
Yep. All right. Let's get into the what's new. I have not bought anything. I have actually sold a bunch of stuff.
That money's not just burning a hole in your pocket right now.
It kind of is.
Hold on.
But
He doesn't have $40 of it though, because we do have a NAMM deal
so
about to go down.
with NAMM coming, all that money is going to probably go away as soon as we walk into like Carter Vintage or something.
Oh, goodness.
No, but oh wait. So that could never mind. Sorry, I'm getting totally off topic.
All right.
Go ahead.
Marissa.
We finally brought our base in
Yeah.
To get set up.
to get set up. Yes.
So we'll have the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so
I
excited
know
for that.
Albert's been bugging us about like really wanting to see it and play it, and so Albert, if you're listening, you could probably even borrow it for your show. When is it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
One of those days.
Wait,
One of
wait.
those days.
I didn't know they had a show that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we covering it? Are we going to be like live? Like, we've got to do that.
I mean, that's between you and Isaiah, I guess, since it's his band.
Well, I mean, we've got to go to the show.
Well, yeah. So we need to like get a for sure on when that is, so we can like make sure we don't plan anything for that night.
Yeah,
No one
'cause
even told
I
me.
already have concert tickets for that Saturday. Go and see
If-
Brent Mason.
Who?
Yeah. Have you been to Nashville?
Wait, what's his name? Who?
I'm done talking to you people.
I seriously didn't hear. Like, I'm not even being a smart aleck. I'm just being deaf.
Oh, there's going to be a concert with Brent Mason and a few other folks, hosted by Little Walter Amps.
Oh yeah, the little Walter.
Oh,
yeah,
that thing.
Brent Mason. He's got the signature pedal with Wampler.
He does.
Was it Hotwired?
Yep.
Yeah. No, he's a killer session musician. He's like the guy.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Well, you make sure you cover that for us very well.
Oh yeah, it will be the Hamilton party because I think Nick Hamilton's going with me too.
Oh, nice.
Man,
fun.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted.
we're not related, by the way. We just have the same last name.
I always think you guys are related. Wait, isn't there another Worley? Is he related to Clifton that floats around in the groups?
I believe Tim Worley is related to Clifton.
Okay.
Anyway,
I need
we're off
answers,
topic.
Clifton. Yeah, you're welcome. so Scott.
So yeah, what's new with you,
sorry.
Scott?
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna sit over here.
Slap.
Well, it's new with me. So I was supposed to have something new this week, and that didn't really pan out thanks to a lot of fun shipping issues with like 4 different orders I've had now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had that Reverb guy that like sold it to me, and then it took a week to send it, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you sending this thing?" And he didn't respond for a while, and then finally it was like, "Oh yeah, an employee must have stolen it." Oh well.
Did he give you that
Oh
refund
well.
Reverb did.
yet? Oh, okay.
And then what's funny is, so I took that money, found a better deal on the same product, and now it's been 5 days and that guy hasn't shipped it. So I don't know what it is about Behringer measurement microphones, but they're not shipping.
It's not even something fun.
No, it's a work thing.
That's not even like.
Yeah.
I mean, but how mad are you on a scale of like 1 to 10? Like a 2.3?
It's $30 and I don't need it yet. So like if like a project came in and I needed it to go out to do some, testing for
buy it
acoustics. Yeah. I'd probably just go down to Guitar Center and pick one up, but for the time being, whatever. So yeah, that's all going on. And then the other real fun one, and I posted this in the group already. I finally got the Lambertones triple shot Strat pickups, the beta version that I got, into the Strat that I wanted them in, and good golly, they're good. Used them on Sunday. They're a lot of fun. We'll have some videos coming out soon when the 4 of us are all in the same room, and we'll be showing those off.
Lambertone's gonna get 2 demos. Like,
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
gonna
that's
be funny
true.
if
We
my
can
demo's done
finally,
before yours.
Still.
shut up.
Like Scott will have his edited and like uploaded by the time we get done recording Diaz's.
Well, he can play in his demo, so because apparently they're all wanting me to play. So have fun.
We will. All right. So
I'm not
Diaz.
even going to NAMM. I don't even care. All right, no, but new for me. Man, I just had it. I was like, oh wait, I got that new, and I forgot. But I am working on a project. So I've got my American Tele Deluxe that I kind of butchered in a sense. When I put on my Bigsby, I did not do it properly, but I love that guitar. It was my first like really expensive guitar. I bought it for like $1,000, and it was. Now I've tried shimming the neck, and it's better, but there's a bow in the neck. So Senor Scott was going to actually take a look at it at NAMM. So
And even if better, we might get Mr. Equitz to look at it.
I'll just see if he'll trade me.
Will you take
Like,
this?
I'll
thing that's
trade
a
you
third
whatever's
of the
in
cost?
your case for whatever's in my case. Thank you. No, but and he's bringing guitars, right?
I hope so.
If he doesn't,
hoping so,
like,
too.
I mean, it'll still be really nice to meet him, but it'll be kind of like going to prom date with your cousin. It's like, oh, you got to go to prom, but it was with your cousin. Like, it's like, oh, I got to meet Kevin, but I didn't get to play any quits. But
Yeah, see,
and
the high school I
what's-
went to, that was a real chance because most of the people I went to a small like Christian school, and like half of everybody was related. It was
Okay,
I've been there.
so my hometown is 4.9 square miles.
oh good lord.
We had a graduating class of like a little over 100. It was very possible. I'm not kidding. When people would date, they'd have to make sure they were not related. Like, not like the joke. No, they'd legit have to be like, who are your parents? So luckily my family moved there when I was a kid. So it's not like I was born and raised there. But I mean, we even had like a family feud. There was the Barthels and the Bartles, spelt the same way, pronounced differently because people got pissed off at each other.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So, but no new. I'm buying a TC Electronics Third Dimension from Chris in a
When we get to
couple weeks.
NAMM.
Yeah. So I've got that. It's just gonna be, the shipping process is terribly long. So
It's
gonna
hand
be hand
delivered.
Oh yeah, I bought some sinusoids on that same shipping plan. So yeah, we'll see that coming too.
Nice.
yeah, because we all love
We
sinusoid.
do. We should
I'm using their
Throwing that out there.
bagels.
Like, I'm using one right now. I do need to get a XLR sinusoid because that's probably my cable might be the reason why we hear fax machines. So,
Maybe because another
hopefully-
podcast talked about how important shielding was in cables. So
I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts.
Gotta get that
So-
Star Quad cable too. Anyway,
My cable's blue. That's all I know.
let's
But,
jump into some
um,
news, guys.
all right,
Yeah. All right, guys, let's do it.
I'll definitely grief.
Sorry, Scott. You saw
Oh
it
no,
all
that was so
Caucasian at that
intentional.
moment.
Don't worry about it.
Oh goodness.
Gosh.
That's the new politically correct way. It sounds awful Caucasian.
Okay. The new Boss Wireless. I'll go ahead and take the lead on this one. I definitely like the idea of this. I don't know how familiar.
What is it called? What is it called?
I'm pulling that up real quick. It is the Boss WL series. They have 3 models, even though 2 of them are practically the same. They have the WL20, which, if you're familiar with the Line 6 G10 relay, it's like a little, like the transmitter is like literally a little box that just plugs straight into your guitar. It's basically 2 of those as transmitter and receiver, so super small package and for a wireless system. And then the bigger brother out of that is a like pedal board. Like I'm guessing this is about the size of a standard Boss pedal. Wouldn't y'all say? Somebody?
Yeah.
Hello?
What?
Did you cut out?
Jeez.
You totally cut out.
Yeah, all
bro.
I heard
Sorry.
was that the big brother is like bump.
Oh, can you hear me now though?
Yeah, we're gonna have to edit that out, or we can leave it
Yeah.
in and people can go through the adventure with us.
Just be like, oh, why are they not talking to Chris?
No one puts
Okay,
Chris in the
also-
corner.
Yeah. Damn it, guys.
So
There's our explicit for the week.
So yeah, I think these are pretty cool. The price point seems just about right.
You want to know the one thing that bugs me? Like honestly, the weirdest little thing.
What?
The type print on it. I understand it's the Boss type print, but it looks like so 80s or like early 90s, like the old Audio Technica stuff, where it's just kind of. That's kind of what it reminds me of. That's the only thing. Like when I look at it, that's the only thing I
is it
see.
just the color scheme? Because like I feel like I never have this problem with other Boss stuff.
Yeah, it might be the color scheme. It might be the like the gray and the like light gray
Yeah.
mixed together. And then but like for some reason those colors mixed with the font, which you look at it, you're like, oh, it's the Boss font, but you don't see it in those colors, and it kind of has that feel. It kind of like reminds me of those like when you're going through a church and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to find this, and you find that really old, odd wireless pack that's in there. Because everyone's done that old weird wireless pack, and you're like, maybe this will work, and you plug it in and you can't move more than 2 feet away, and you're like, this sucks, and you throw it back in the box so someone can find it in 6 years. That's what it looks like to me.
But hopefully it's not like that.
No, because Boss is making
Yeah.
like amazing stuff lately. They've really, I mean, they've always made great stuff, but it feels like they're sticking with their quality in sound has stayed really well with the times.
So I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm probably going to ditch my Line 6 G10 because the Boss has a whole lot better features. Like the Line 6, to power it, you have to have a mini USB,
Oh,
which
why?
is not a standard thing at all on any pedal power
That's
thing
really
without
weird.
getting custom. So this actually is powered by, the standard 9-volt barrel plug.
See,
Yeah,
because
it-
my
it-
G70
You can
is
daisy chain it too.
Oh yeah, you can daisy chain it.
my G70 uses it, you can power it either way.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of weird. That is a stupid design.
Yeah, so I literally have to have like a USB cable and cable like extender with me whenever I play.
You could use
That's dumb.
what's the bright switch?
Yeah, I've got one of them.
Maybe I haven't like pulled
No,
up
you
to see
can.
like what the like power draw is though. That would be my only concern.
I mean, the other thing is you could if you're doing the homebrew thing, you can make a 9-volt to 5-volt adapter.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on. I just thought about this. I could use the bright switch to run my wireless, and that would free up a spot on my power supply. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
And there we
Dang,
go.
I didn't even think about that. All right, back on topic, guys.
All right, well, I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll have this at their booth at NAMM.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
that would be
still
awesome.
not ready to go wireless for me personally. I'm still a wired guy because I also then would need wireless in ears, and I just haven't. I'm not willing to make that full jump yet.
Well, you don't want. I'd pick wireless in-ears over wireless guitar.
Yeah.
Make that jump first, because look, I've done both. So the thing about the G70 that I love is I can plug a cable into it. So there's weeks whenever I go wireless, and if like say there's a week and I'm having a little bit of interference because we run Wi-Fi and other wireless, and I honestly I think I need to get a good update on it.
Yeah.
I haven't updated it since I bought it. So I'm gonna run an update. But if I ever have any problems, like, and I don't feel like dealing with it, I just plug a cable straight in.
Well, also depending on what generation of wireless you have, there's it coming this spring. They stopped selling certain spectrums of
Yeah.
wireless because the FCC sold off some more to I think T-Mobile. So, there's going to be certain things in about a year or two where they're going to either get tons of interference from cell phone towers or just other kind of stuff. And this technology is a bit different. This is running actually, frankly, on the same spectrum that Wi-Fi is in the 2.4 gigahertz.
I think the G7 runs on that.
Yeah,
That
and so
sounds about right.
there's pluses and minuses about that. I'll let someone who's more of an expert in that world than I am talk about it, because it is a kind of crowded area with everyone going smart homes. There's Wi-Fi, there's all those kind of things. But it's crowded, but there's also more space. And so, there's pluses and minuses to it.
Yeah, I mean, plus this would be like dedicated, so it's not like having to go through a router or anything. So that would like really cut down.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
God. You would not want to like actually use Wi-Fi. Unless it like ran on Dante or something. But now we're getting too deep in the weeds here.
Okay, all right, let's move on to the next thing, because I thought we were going to fly through the news.
You should know us better than that.
Yeah, really. Does somebody want to talk about the Old Blood Noise Endeavors Alpha Haunt Fuzz?
Yes. This is a Reverb exclusive pedal that Old Blood Noise Endeavor's putting out. So there was the Haunt Fuzz, if you guys recall. I want to say it came out around NAMM last year. Am I completely wrong there?
I feel like I remember something like that.
I have no
Yeah.
freaking clue, so
But
that's what I'm
There
adding
is-
to the conversation.
this is a really cool thing because you have adjustable bias, gate, all sorts of controls on this. There's actually there's 7 knobs, a toggle, plus 3 slider faders for other EQ options. So this thing gets pretty extreme in what it can do. Lots of cool filtering options, lots of really cool stuff. Highly recommend watching the demos. They've got Andy over there doing his thing. And
Nice.
also buy them up quick, because I think they're going to sell out pretty quick.
First run's only 175 units.
Yeah, so they're going to move.
229.
That's not crazy for a fuzz with that many controls on it.
I think this is like the fuzz. This is like definitely a fuzz guy fuzz. It's not the fuzz for the guy who's just like, oh yeah, I like a little bit of fuzz here and there. This is for the guy who's like, I don't know. I think I love bias controls on fuzz. I love bringing it down. So one of my favorite fuzzes. So I've got, of course, Pelican Noise Works. I've got the Half Horse and the Pelotar. But outside of that, the Cockfight by Electro Harmonics.
Oh yeah, that thing's cool.
It's really fun, and you can turn the bias down, and it gets that nice sputtery, just about to die fuzz, which is a lot of fun. And if you've got not a good, because there's a lot of power supplies that are good that don't have it, but you can find power supplies that have a bias on them. So like I've got the CS12 by True Tone. And they've got a channel that can go from like 4 volts to 9
They do?
volts. Yes.
I have the CS7. Now I'm going to go pick it up and look at it, see if I have that controller or not.
Probably not, because I've got 5 more, and I think one of them's a control.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think that's what I
I
have.
just dropped stuff too. Ow.
That's what happened. Are you getting it right now? Like,
Yeah, it's still plugged in too.
This is live, people.
like I was like, you know what? And people want to talk about me going away from the mic trying to talk.
I'm still on the cast just fine, and you barely noticed me leaving.
I
If he
I
hadn't
noticed.
dropped anything.
Yeah.
Listen, hey,
Yeah,
hold on.
mine only has adjustments from 9 to 12 volts. That's all I've got.
Okay, yeah, no, mine has where one of the channels strictly goes from like 4 to 9 volts.
Yeah, and I have no idea if my Phoenix does that or not, so I'm not picking that thing up.
I'm gonna get the half horse, crank it up, and and sag it.
Ooh.
Sag it down.
Sag it down. All right, that's not gonna stick, but I like to believe it will.
We've got
And
the
then
memes
you
already
can
for
try.
it, don't we?
Yeah, the meme has been made, so
Bring it on.
yeah, and bring it on, sag it down, cut it out. Yeah, we're gonna all full house. All right, so let's move on to
gosh.
the next one. PRS, I'm excited about this one. So like this is like the one that I kind of like got giddy about. PRS announces 3 new semi-hollow limited run guitars. So this is definitely the whole PRS is expensive. Yes, it is very expensive, but it's freaking gorgeous. So they have the McCarty 594 semi-hollow, the single cut McCarty 594 semi-hollow, and special semi-hollow. And the special semi-hollow is
It's
got
like an affordable John Mayer.
Yeah, that's what I
if
was
that's
gonna
such a
say.
thing.
if we need to talk about affordable, but it's
More
affordable than the
Is it
John
under
It's
Mayer.
not
5K?
$12,000 or whatever it is. John
What is
Mayer.
this one? Probably 7.
You've got to ask, which means you can't afford it.
Exactly.
Probably.
I
All right.
so I don't think Paul Reed Smith has really been doing the semi-hollows that much
No.
over the last couple of years. They used to have the McCarty semi-hollow before they did the McCarty 594, but they stopped making those mid 2000s.
So and one of the coolest things, and this is like the part of me that's like freaking out. So the special semi-hollow, I'm guessing it's a special. It has a tremolo on it, or a vibrato system, whatever you want to call it.
Whammy bar.
I don't care. And it also has looks like piezo,
Does it?
because do you see those 2 little switches down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought those were for
It's
like
usually
coil tap.
It might be.
Oh yeah, it
'Cause
is. 2 mini toggles that tap for humbuckers.
Oh, whatever. It looked like it, but
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to be able to squeeze a push-pull through into a hollow body. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to do something separate when you're wiring something.
well, I'm
like
not
that.
building guitars, but
Yeah.
but it has the dual humbuckers and then it says single coil right there in smack
It
in the
looks
middle.
like a mini humbucker.
Mini humbucker.
They claim
Yeah,
it's a single though.
Okay, but look, this is like the guitar that you build when
Yes.
you're on one of the guitar building websites and you throw every cool feature at it. You're like, I want it. And the color is amazing. It looks like a whale blue in the picture that I'm looking at. This, and especially I think Scott mentioned it in the pre-app, was if you are a fan of Incubus, you will find some love for this.
Especially the Morning View era.
The best era.
Yeah.
Especially-
Arguably their best album by a mile.
Oh yeah, I mean, Blood on the Ground. Let's see, Wish You Were
Circles.
Here, Circles,
Warning.
Mexico.
Yep.
What else was on there? We have Warning, like the Warmth. Like
Warmth was on Make Yourself.
no, it wasn't. Was it?
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Somebody Google it.
I'm about to. I'm pretty. Hold on.
You are so wrong. I'm really
If I'm
disappointed
wrong,
for you.
I'll admit it. If I'm wrong, I'm looking it up though.
Live Googling.
RUN was on there. Wish You Were Here. Nice to Know You. Oh my gosh.
You should have just looked up Make Yourself, because then you would have found it faster. Because that's what the album it's on.
Okay, maybe you're right. Whatever. I don't care. Okay, all right. I know why I'm mixing it up. Is because on the limited edition, the Best Buy had a limited edition bonus CD that had The Warmth live in New York. So, and then on the Morning View Sessions movie, they play The Warmth too.
I'm sure they did.
Apologies. They did. Watch it.
I kind of want to now.
Well, we'll watch it. We'll watch it.
So,
Everyone's out doing cool stuff, and we're just watching Incubus
DVDs from the mid 2000s. I love it. So yeah,
phenomenal.
I'm
no one's gonna buy one.
I'm in love with these. I've half looked at the Zach Myers SE for a long time.
I wish it wasn't an SE. I wish they would have done a Zach Myers American run.
I just don't want to be associated with Zach Myers because I don't really care for his band very much. But
you don't like Shinedown? Like not even a little bit? There's like not one thing you like by them?
They're local to me, so I kind of have to be like halfway partial.
They're
think
local to me
Simple
too,
Man,
so I've got to
their
like go
cover
for it.
of Simple Man's the only song I ever like kind of
Dude,
liked, and I still like the real version of it.
His voice is phenomenal.
They're talented. I'm not saying they suck. I'm just saying I don't really care for them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
they fall in that genre that's like really not for everybody.
No, I understand they're not
In
great, but there's got to be like an original song by them.
Yeah.
They span so far, in my opinion. They don't like they always sound like Shinedown, but they've done like the softer stuff, and then they've done the like really heavy stuff.
So a quick little rant on one thing that does kind of suck about Chicago is we don't have very good rock radio for a long time. We had Q101, which was okay during like the Smashing Pumpkins era, but has gotten really commercialized over the years. And like when I travel and like I throw on a rental car and I start listening to like stations around there, like I'm always surprised by like outside of Chicago, there's tons of great rock radio stations. Chicago just does not have very good rock radio.
Weird.
Yeah, Knoxville's kind of hit or miss. They keep shutting down a station and like starting back up, or like the station goes out of business and then another one pops up on the same frequency. And every time it gets more and more, I guess, kind of towards the like what I consider like almost hipster genre. So
You have a hipster
But we
radio
can talk about
station
local
in
radio.
Knoxville?
at a different time.
Well, here's the other problem is that radio station's a client of mine, so I need to be kind of quiet about it.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure they're listening to your podcast that you record.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, we're going to scrap his design for our radio studio now. We got to go with something
All right,
else.
so Walrus Audio introduces the Emissary Parallel Boost Pedal.
Yay, $200 boost pedal.
Okay, but the cool thing about this boost pedal, and I think it's a neat thing, is that it does have, what is it, momentary latch? But like, is that what it's called?
Oh,
Where you just press
does
it,
it?
and as soon as you release it, turns off?
Yeah.
Which is something that the TC Spark Mini does as well.
Oh, well. Yeah, but the TC Spark Mini isn't $200, Scott.
No, I bought it for $50.
Well,
So like the Spark is like a pretty flat-ish boost. What's really
Yeah.
cool about this is it has multiple channels or sort of EQ sweeps to it. So when you push bass too much, everything flubs out. And so what you really want from a lot of bass pedals or a lot of these boost pedals is a treble or a mid boost. And so this can function as a mid boost. So like what a lot of people use a Tube Screamer or a Klon for. Not saying it's exactly that kind of thing, but it's a similar vibe of you're boosting your middle frequencies to make them overdrive or come further out. Or you can control your highs, and then you can kind of tailor this. So it's got some EQ options for it. Yeah.
I think the price is a little bit up there.
Yeah.
And honestly, the one thing that frightens me is Walrus Audio's their noise issue with a lot of their pedals.
Well, the only one I've heard about that on is the compressor. And all
The Deep
compress-
Six, no, the Deep Six, even the Bellwether added noise.
So what was the Bellwether again? Wasn't that an
The-
overdrive?
That was
Delay.
the Deluxe Memory Man.
Okay. Those Deluxe Memory Man chips, the Bucket Brigade
Yeah.
things are naturally noisy. Because
Okay,
even
but-
Chase Bliss talks about how noisy their pedal is, and I'm like, I don't hear it, but they complain about it.
Yeah,
All
I've
compressors
never heard it
add
either.
noise because you're raising up your low frequency or your low level stuff.
I've played a
But-
few of their drives, and they add. I understand that you're talking about pedals that add noise,
Mm-hmm.
but it's it's kind of one of those things where it's like you want a company that it seems like it's kind of trying to fight that. I don't know. But there's also the whole point of there's adding noise, which you expect. Like my Keeley Compressor Plus adds a little bit of noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's adding noise where it's extremely noticeable even while you're like playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, which Walrus kind of did. But if Walrus kicks my ass at NAMM, we know why. Because Scott sent him a link to the podcast. He's like, here, get this.
I mean, so I have very limited actual like on my pedal board experience with Walrus stuff. The only one I've had is the Julia. It's been amazing, but and no noise issues there. But I mean, that one's a chorus pedal, so
Yeah,
I'm not
I've
dealing with the
had
same kind of issues.
3 of their pedals, and I've like not had any issue with them.
Well,
I wonder how
maybe-
much of this is power supply stuff too.
it,
Like,
it
are they
could
just
be.
more sensitive to it?
But this is also like me playing other people's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know, but that's just a personal experience. I don't know, but I mean, you see it quite a bit on groups too, especially like the Deep Six, which, like you said, compressors add noise,
Yep.
but most people are like come from a compressor to the Deep Six and they're like, does anyone else notice all this noise and all that? I don't know. I just feel like there could be a way for them to try to fix it in the build process or try to minimize it.
So there are ways to do it, and a lot of more modern compressors have ways of kind of dealing with the noise. Actually, the Keeley that you mentioned to me is actually a very quiet compressor, all things considered. Because I noticed when I switched to the Kelly 76, because that's a much more vintage and traditional style compressor, it's a bit
Yep.
noisier than the Keeley. But also because I'm running compression at a lot higher rate, it's actually closer to being a limiter than a compressor, and that will be a separate topic for another day when I explain what the difference is. But
If you don't want to wait for Scott, there is a really cool video. Robert Keeley talks about it, and if you want to hear,
Yep.
okay, so in that video is the reason why I now run my Compressor Plus after my drives. By the way,
oh, interesting.
because he actually talks about that's how he thinks it sounds best. And honestly, if Robert Keeley's telling me how he thinks a compressor sounds best, I'm gonna freaking listen.
Yeah,
man's
that
like
would
one of
help
the
with your noise
godfathers.
issues
So
because you're not amplifying it before it hits your gain stage.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it also helps really keep me a balanced volume.
Yeah, that's also a really good point.
So, but that's a whole nother, like you said, that's a whole nother topic. Maybe we'll talk about compressors some week.
So,
maybe
yeah.
we can get Robert Keeley to talk about it at NAMM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Anyway, we're not really here to knock on the Walrus stuff too much.
no.
But
No, this
you know,
wasn't like a negative thing.
I think if you're looking for those extra features, the extra cost might be worth it for you.
Definitely.
So I don't want to totally knock that.
I
and-
really want to try it at NAMM.
Oh, for sure.
My dogs are barking.
All right, and the last new piece of gear for this week was announced actually this morning, or well, officially announced. It's been on the internet for a week or so. The Fender Player Series is now being released. We're not going to go too in depth on everything, but this is basically replacing the Fender Standard Series, or what most people call the Made in Mexico models. So we have the Stratocaster and a few different variants, including a Floyd Rose Trem now.
Which is great if you want to be in a Motley Crue cover band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which actually, you know what? I think a Floyd Rose on a Strat is actually pretty cool. But that's just me.
Oh, I'm with you. I don't want to set
now-
it up, but I'm with you. It's awesome.
I really want to start a Motley Crue cover band.
Oh, they actually changed these, or some of these, to the 2-point system. It looks like.
Yeah,
for, trim.
there's new trims on all of them basically. They're switching up the pickups now. They're using El Nico 5 magnets instead of what they were using before. I think they were ceramic before, right?
Maybe.
I have no clue.
I have no clue either.
Anyway, so most people's biggest knocks on the Fender Made in Mexico stuff tends to be the pickups. So that
Yeah.
looks to be addressing something. Prices are going up just slightly. As far as new prices on that line goes.
So what does everyone think is going to happen to the Made in Mexico line used prices? I think they're going to plummet.
I think they've already hit bottom.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
they've hit rock bottom? I'm talking about like made in Mexico, standard $200, which I know a lot of people like that's where the low end where they'll grab them at and try to get them up into the 350 lane. I think they're going to steadily stay at the 2 to 250.
What
Well,
did we
also
sell
because you
my
can't
Strat
buy
for?
rosewood anymore. So
Did you
'cause
sell it for
everything's
3?
Pal Faro. Sorry, what was that, Marissa?
We actually like sold my Mexican Strat for about 3.
Just recently,
So,
right? Within the past
yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. Well,
So, I mean, I would hope they wouldn't go like much more down than that, but that's still like half of new, which is gonna be kind of hard to push some people into seeing that.
I crap a lot on Fender. Well, I have lately, but I will say a very positive thing about this is they're listening to the complaints. The complaint where the pickups and they're putting in different pickups, which is pretty cool. I think Fender's been really good about that. So one of the main complaints that I had about the early 2000 made in Mexico line was the necks felt, they weren't sticky, but they felt just kind of cheap. They felt very coarse in my opinion. And so and I'm not saying they listen to me, but that apparently I would say it was a common complaint, and that changed. The necks started feeling better, and you know I think they're doing a really good job of trying to listen to what the market's saying, and really pinpointing that. Besides the whole parallel series,
Well, the parallel series is special stuff. It's not.
Yeah,
really
it's
the-
kinda
the
like a
standard
one-off.
line.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just proud
we hear ya.
that I'm just proud that Fender is hiring disabled people, because whoever designed those must have been blind.
You did not
So,
get enough grief for that line last week, so hopefully this week we do.
I'm definitely not editing this
I'm
one.
telling you, I'm gonna keep saying it until I get this SJWs on me.
Oh,
All right, I have my one grievance with the line, which is that their Jazzmaster is dual humbucker with no rhythm circuit. That's not a Jazzmaster.
Yeah.
That is an offset guitar. It is not a Jazzmaster. Fender needs to come up with a new name. Stop calling them Jaguars and stop calling them Jazzmasters, and just come up with a new name for an offset with 2 humbuckers.
But wait, wouldn't this
Just be done with
technically be the Tornado or Tornado, whatever it was?
Stop coming up with stuff that's almost close to a word, but it's not exactly the word. How about that?
Do you not
Let's
know
just go
about
with
that model?
Like Squire, spell it right.
Squeer.
Squeer, Tornado. Call it a tornado.
I can remember which one it was.
What's the Cabronita or whatever? what is that? Doesn't that word mean something else? Aaron Abubo, if you happen to listen to this,
Yeah.
Yeah, correct us on the California
The Tornado
lingo.
is slightly different, but like the Tornado never really took off either. So
yeah. So we're gonna try it again, and we're gonna call it something else.
Call it a
and
Yeah,
see what
Jazzmaster and
happens.
everybody will buy it.
yeah, so that part bothers me. I've seen some complaints about lack of left-handed models on the offsets available here. It's only on the Strat and the
Send him
Tele.
to Ryan Burke's video.
Yeah. So yeah, check this out. They're already in stores. That was a announce and it's in stores kind of launch for them. So they're available. Oh, the Tornado is a short scale.
Okay.
There we go.
So let's do we'll go on to the topic. So the topic kind of was along the lines of this. We were trying to figure out a topic, and I was thinking about some of the old crappy gear I had, and some of it still is near and dear to my heart. So we're going to talk about our favorite old crappy gear that you can still work with and still use. Let's see. I guess I'll go first because I kind of came up with it. So one of my first ventures into guitar pedals was a Zoom GFX 5. So it was a multi-stomp. It had 3 foot switches and a expression or volume pedal. And I love that thing. It was really cool. I I could plug it straight in to whatever I wanted to do. It sounded decent, but not anything to write home about. But they had the Van Halen setting, and I just started learning how to play guitar. And I was like, I'm gonna play, I don't know, Running with the Devil or something. So there was that. That was like one of the coolest things. And it's really neat because you see all these things that have come out of that multi-effects world. I mean, you've got the Boss ME series, and a lot of those have stayed true, like, through time. What's the blue one that like everyone had?
The multi-effects?
Yeah, the blue multi-effects. It had the same.
Behringer?
No, there was a Boss one that was blue.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
It was the ME, like, I think 1000 is the new one. Maybe it was the 100. Who knows? But they've got a lot of those cool things going on, and you've really got just like, I mean, this whole world has opened up from that. And now I use a Kemper, which has multi effects in it, and like, it's just really neat to think about like the old crappy gear we had. But one of my first pedals was a Dan Electro Bacon and Eggs, which if you haven't played one, you're not missing anything, but you can find them on eBay for like $1 maybe. No joke. So listen, I was talking about them one day, and I was like, man, I'm going to buy some. I look at one on eBay. One had a bidding starting at $1, and I won. I think the guy had to have lost money getting rid of that pedal because the shipping was more than $1. It was like $1 and then $2 for shipping. I think I paid a total of $3 for it. And I think that one actually is with Blake Weiland with the Tone Mob podcast. I sent that in a Secret Santa gift, and what it is it's pretty much, it's a pedal that has an in and an out and a power supply. It might not have a power supply. It might just run off 9-volt. And what happens is it has a speaker in it. So if you don't plug anything through the out, it plays through the speaker, and it sounds absolutely horrible. It sounds like total butt. So when I bought it, and like the bidding was like, yeah, it doesn't work. Or that was the second one. I bought the second one. I got it for $1 and free shipping. And the guy was like, the person's like, it doesn't work.
That dude paid you so he didn't have to throw it away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
And I still have one. It floats around my church because sometimes I'll just plug it in and mess with it. But the guy was like, yeah, it doesn't work. And I was just like, man, I know how these sound. I'm assuming it works just fine. It works as intended, which is to sound horrible. So, but that was part of the food series, and it actually sparked my love for Dan Electro pedals. But
Nice.
that's like some of the cool stuff. I mean, my first amp was a Crate. It was the blue one, the like 150 watts or whatever, has 3 channels, had a foot switch that you had to like, one switch was for reverb, and then the other 2 switches, like one was crunch, and then you had to turn this one on and turn this one off to get to the lead or the solo channel, whatever it was called. Yeah,
Did it take multiple cables to get it to work too? Like you had the foot switch required multiple cables to be hooked up?
Well, it came with the cables. It was like a white and a red cable.
Yeah.
And they were connected together. And if you lost one of them, I mean, it was horrible. And then you were supposed to be able to use an effects loop, and I could never get it to work because you had to use like a TRS out split, and one was the in, one was the out, and you never knew which one it was, and it just became a nightmare. But at that point, the only effects I used like the onboard sound, and then a DD3, I think. That was like primitive. But I'm gonna make someone mad. The guitar I owned, because I didn't really pay for it, was a PRS custom 2410 top. Going through all that crap, it was ridiculous.
What? How? How?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Listen. People make stupid decisions.
That's such a mismatched amount of gear.
It really was. It was by far one of the like dumbest things. And then actually the PRS got stolen.
Oh.
And like all my gear got stolen. It was heartbreaking, and I really wish I could find that guitar, because it was a custom 2410 top in whale blue.
Oh, the perfect one too.
it was, and it didn't have the like, it didn't have the wood back. It was black on the back, and it was just amazing. I miss like. It's gonna make me sad now just thinking about it, but yeah, it was a mixed match. And then from then on, I really started getting into like building my gear up. I got a carbon copy, and then I started getting into like the gear groups on Facebook and building up a pedal board and all that.
Yeah.
So
We've kind of gotten away from crappy gear at that point. I mean,
yeah. So I'm done talking because we got out of the topic. Chris, let's talk about your old crappy gear.
Let's see, what was my first rig? I think it was like a Squire Telecaster. I actually still have it, but I've done a lot of upgrades to it. It was whatever a step above the Affinity series or whatever. But it was.
I think that was the standard series way back when.
It might
Squire
have been.
Standard or whatever they called it. Yeah.
Might have, but it was like right before they did like the whole vintage modified or
Yeah.
whatever it was before that. So that actually wasn't half bad. I still have it, and I still plan on like kind of using it because it's still actually a pretty decent guitar.
Yeah, I still got my Affinity series Strat. I pull it out once in a while.
Yeah,
It lived in my office for a while. Back
maybe
when
that's what I
had
need
an
to do is
office.
just take it to work.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually had a first amp. Actually, no, I kind of did. It was a
Well,
like
technically, at some
$40
point,
pawn
you had
shop.
to have a first amp.
Yeah, but it was like
You've just always had a Marshall JTM, or
yeah, I've always had that Marshall that I just got rid of, but it was like some weird like pawn shop thing. I just walked in, it's like, hey, $40. It's got 2 speakers in it and like 40 watts. That's plenty loud. But I didn't have like an actual pedal board at the time. I think my first 2 pedals were a GTX 250 by shoot. It's not TC Electronics. I don't remember who it was by right offhand. But then the next step up was a GTX 2000, which is like its bigger brother.
Which we still don't know who made it.
Yeah, I'm on Reverb right now, seeing if I can pull up GTX 250. Anybody? Nope. Okay. Apparently, I'm totally wrong on the model number. But it was some weird little like multi-effects unit that I could do like amps and stuff. So I'd either use that.
so did we
like,
all
plug
start?
direct in?
Did we all start on one of these kind of crappy multi-effects thing that were really
must
popular around that
have.
time? Because I had the Korg AX1G was my first one. I still have it because it's not worth anything, so why sell it?
Yeah, I somehow managed to sell mine. I don't know how.
I don't even know what happened to mine. Like, I really cannot remember. But I also get people who like quote me on the podcast. They're like, "Oh yeah, you made this joke." I'm like, I really don't remember. I've slept since then. Like this Zach, I'm gonna say your name, or Zachary. I'm sorry, Zachary.
Zach?
Zacchaeus.
Zachariah.
Yes. All right, Zachariah, son of the sauce. He was like, he posted something and he put SM or something like that. He was quoting me, and I'm like, I have no clue. People message me, they're like, I can't believe you'd say that. I'm like, I can't believe I said that either.
Like, what did I say again?
I'm like zipping through the podcast, like trying to listen real quick. I'm like, what did I say? I actually sent a picture to the group because we got our group chat going. I'm like, what did I say? I have no clue. Well, this cannot be used against me in a court of law. Just throwing that out there. I don't know how that works,
Yeah.
but I've seen Cops.
You were watching Cops last week.
That's what I was watching. So it's like, you're breathing awful heavy. I'm like, I was watching Cops. Oh my, that was it.
All right, so
Okay.
I'll add my last little part to this.
No, what about Marissa?
Oh, I was going to give it to Marissa after I was done. 'Cause
Oh,
I was
okay.
interrupting Chris already, so I think I'll
Oof.
finish. So
Shut up, Chris.
my other favorite, like
Okay.
kind of this is a maligned pedal, but I still kind of keep it around, is the Marshall JH1 jackhammer.
I
That
had
was
one of those.
the gold, like the silver series looking ones. They're like
Yeah.
really big and odd
Yeah.
shaped.
Yeah. This thing is a lot of fun when you can dial it in right, but there are a lot of times it sounds like butt as well.
The that they have the Governor in that series, right?
Yeah, the Governor
Yeah.
2 or 3 or whatever version.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the Governor too. But I've got my friend Josh Fitzgerald like loves his. I can't remember which one he has. I think he might have. It's either the Governor 2 or the Jackhammer. But they're supposed to be. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like the Dan Electro Daddio, where it sounds horrible in a lot of spots, but you can find that sweet spot, and it sounds great.
You just reminded me I own a Dan Electro Daddio.
I've got.
I forgot I had
the
that.
the only pedal in the big box series Dan Electro I don't have is the chromatic tuner. So they do have. There's a guy local who has a display set that's got all of them hooked up on the Dan Electro pedal board for $150, and I've been fighting the urge. I mean, if you got a Dan Electro pedal sitting around your house and you don't want to do anything with it and you just want it gone, I will send you money for postage. I love Dan Electro pedals just because they're cheap and fun to mess with. And if you want to mod a pedal, Boss DS1's a good modding start. Dan Electro pedals, they're cheap. You're not investing a whole lot to screw up.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. All right, Marissa, what crappy gear do you still have that's still working for you?
Okay. Here's the thing. I kind of married. Hello.
Where'd Marissa go?
Oh,
I hear you. Yeah.
Listen, she was gonna talk.
audio
Jeez.
interface.
It's not even funny. That's just messed
That's
up.
so mean.
She was gonna talk and she disappeared. All right, Marissa, are you there?
Hello. Hello.
Let me go. I'll come back in.
Oh, she's gone.
All right. Can you hear us now?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna have to edit that out.
No, we won't.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We're not fixing crap in post. Y'all gonna have to deal with it.
Right. Okay. So I kind of married into good gear.
That's why you married in, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
She's using you for your gear, Chris. How does that make you feel?
You married the
Bad.
perfect woman, buddy.
But I will say, it's not crappy in the sense that he's got one of the original Porter pedals. When
Oh, like Porter, like pickup Porter, like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you did some pedals like when you first started the pickup company.
huh? I didn't know that.
Yep. Got the boost.
Oh, cool.
And then what's the Dan Electro that you have?
The delay. I don't remember what it
The Dan
its
Echo,
name is right off.
the big one, the purple
no,
one.
the small food series.
Oh my gosh!
Google.
I just talked this big game. The Dan, the small one was called. Was it the Dan Echo as well? Because I think they reused the name on it.
Oh, PB&J.
Oh, the food series, yeah, PB&J. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty cool pedal though. A lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually had it on my board for a little while when I was like only using one delay, and it was just kind of my ambient add-in.
Can you bring it to NAM?
I guess I could.
Yes. I mean, it's not going to take up much room.
It takes
Is
up
that it?
so much space.
Marissa's like, I've used my 20-word minimum or maximum for the day. I must stop talking. So, but let's see. So everyone's talked about their crappy gear. I think it's really cool to like look back at where you've come from. So if you're in the group, tell us about your crappy gear.
Yeah.
My favorite thing like is whenever we do an episode and someone posts something that's related to it, and like I said, I forget what we talk about, so I'm like, oh, it's like a refresher, it's great. My God, yeah, that's right. We did talk about that.
Hopefully
That's
not,
like-
since we're recording this the day before release.
Yeah. But go on there. Tell us about your crappy gear. I love hearing about people's crappy gear that they still use and sneak in. So one that I use, so I've got the Boss PH2, not crappy gear, but definitely not like a common thing. And I bought it for like $45. So it's definitely cheap gear. So it's really cool. Go on there. Tell us about it. Be
Yes,
interactive.
please do.
Let us know we're not alone.
All right,
Just
so
talking into space.
that's
all by
probably all we're
ourselves.
doing.
Yeah, that's it. That's all 12 of you. I think we've probably tripled our listenership. We've got 12 now.
Hey, no, we
so-
have multiple dozens.
Multiple dozens.
Yep.
I'm not even good with math, but that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, just think of them as in terms of like bagels, and you'll be fine.
I don't like bagels. Can we do donuts?
Donuts
Donuts.
is fine too.
Dang, that's a lot of donuts.
Yeah. It's like Kevin in The Office. You just have to give him in like terms of pies, and suddenly he knows how to do math.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. Oh my gosh. Hey, are we ever going to do a West Wing episode, by the way? Because
Episode
I'm
25,
almost done
bro.
with the series again.
Yeah. Or we can make that our one-off on Summer NAMM. Y'all can do that, and I'll just BS on my computer while y'all talk the whole time.
We'll just be at NAM. We're going to like shout, who watches the West Wing? We're going to have pedal builders come over. We're gonna be like, oh my gosh, CJ is such a BA. But let's see. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think
Chris,
that's
are you
it.
going to do?
Yeah, hey
Yeah.
everybody. Hey,
Do the
quick,
thing.
real quick. Follow us on Instagram over at the FX Loop. Like our stuff,
Join-
especially when
join the
Scott
Facebook
posts
group.
it, not when Diaz posts it. Like those more.
Hold on. I want to point out I am currently winning. I have the picture with the most likes. Actually, I think top 2.
I believe my picture was sponsored by or picked up by Lambertones this week.
Doesn't count. Their likes don't transcribe into our likes.
Okay, fine.
It brings traffic, though.
It does. Thanks,
Okay,
Chris.
well that's fine. Listen, trafficking's bad. I watch the news.
So also, and yeah, as we were talking about, join our Facebook group over at facebook.com/groups/theeffectsloop. Love to have you on there. And
And then-
yes.
I'm gonna do it. The email us, Scott. I don't check them. So listen, if you want to contact me, just don't. But you can send an email. We're gonna try to figure out a way at some point for if you do want to do something with the show financially that we can do without setting up a whole Patreon account. We do offer, you can sponsor an episode. You don't have to be a business to sponsor an episode. We'll cut
Yeah.
you a deal. We'll just talk about you, Jamie Davis.
Dang it, we already did.
That one was free.
That's a freebie. The first taste is free, son.
The first 2 are free.
But email us at theeffectsloop@gmail.com. Keep an eye out for NAM. We're going to go crazy. We're going to have fun. All the other guys aren't going to be there. We're like the B squad going in. 5th quarter guys. We're going to do this thing
Yep.
right and have a lot of fun.
We're splitting a condo with Daniel Shields from DS Guitar Engineering, as well as Clifton Worley from the Clifton Worley Show. So
Go check him out.
There'll be a lot of content, likely some crossover with all of us, and it'll be a lot of fun. And also,
Sinusoid is going to be hanging out with us a lot.
that is,
So-
a lot of our friends and sponsors, and so hopefully we'll have some live streams for the group, as well as finally some YouTube content from us. So
Yep.
keep an eye out.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for joining us. I'm Diaz.
I'm Chris.
I'm Marissa.
I'm Scott.
All right. And for the Effects Loop, we're out.
Thanks, all.
Bye.
Bye.
Mic drop. I totally hit my mic, so there's gonna be a thing. It's gonna mic drop. Thing.
Ba-doop-a-doop-boop.
I feel like I said that with a K instead of a G.
I was wondering if I was the only one that heard it. I was like, the guitar community. Yeah.
Guitar. We should let Clifton do our intro for the video or for the group night.
Oh, that'd be great.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Effects Loop. That's a bad Clifton. I'm sorry.
I keep, you know
Bonus
what?
content.
Whoever edits it, keep that in there. I want
That's like
Clifton
an
to hear it.
Eeyore. That's a terrible.
That was all. You know what? If I was Clifton, I would kick your butt at Summer Nam. Just one good.
He's too nice. He would never do it.
Clifton's too nice to
All
do
right.
that.